That's great. That's great. So play your left hand just like that. It's crazy. That's great. Good. Great. Very, very. That's great. Okay, so it seems like, okay, the thing I'm most concerned about is getting the notes right and playing my hands together. What does this have to do with anything? But as you're progressing and you're such a good musician, I think your hands are going to catch up with the rest of you really quickly, especially if you pay attention to things like this. And what ultimately piano playing I think needs to become for you in this first, especially this first month of lessons, just because you can read music, you get melody, you get so many things about music, is I think the more that you can think about your technique as being more than just your fingers. And there's two things that we did right now, one with your right hand and one with your left hand. They were kind of different things. But we were trying to use more of your hand or a larger gesture to play the piece. In the case of your right hand, it was kind of using your entire hand to drop and play that phrase just like you would sing it. And in your left hand, we're kind of rotating your entire hand a little bit more just to make it a little easier on your fingers. So we'll stop obsessing over this right now. But as you're practicing, it would be great if once in a while you practice one hand alone just to think about that sort of thing. And then you can go back to getting your hands together and that sort of thing, which it already is, and that's great. But hopefully it gives you a couple things to think about as you're practicing that will, over time, make playing anything a lot easier. Okay, let's turn the page and you did some chords on the top of this page, right? Let's hear what you did with these chords. Just the chords. I know you did, yeah, and then I know you did some improvising and we can do that too. But let's just do the chords. That's great. And then did you do a little improvising with your right hand too?
I didn't. Oh, yeah, I did. I don't know what I did. I didn't write it down or anything.
You don't need to write down. You don't even have to do it unless anybody from class last week really wants to hear it today. But
No.
I really want to hear it.
Do you?
Yeah, because I know it'll be great.
Yeah, right. I have no idea what I did. I didn't write it down.
Anything that you do will be great.
It sort of normally goes like that.
Okay, thank you.
That's great. So, with what's going on in your left hand, these different chords, what's happening there? Is it the same harmony? Do you know what I'm asking you? Are you playing the same chord when you move from this one to this one? No, it's a different harmony, right? And that's the same thing in here. Which is why that was tricky, is because the harmony was changing there, right? You do that. Okay, so we're gonna learn this. I don't know how to say this. Tumbalalaika. We'll learn Tumbalalaika for next week. Is it okay with you? Can we just do a little sight reading? Can we read a little bit of this?
Can I be honest with you?
What?
Great, let's hear it. I then got bored with the first one really fast, so I did a little bit of this one. I don't have the whole thing down.
That's great. Let's hear what you've got.
I want you to think, wow, she's really good all of a sudden.
No, we already think you're really good. whatever tool like is. Okay, so when you're practicing it, how do you practice? Do you practice in separate, together?
Together. I usually go measure by measure.
Okay.
Then down here in measure 9, the left hand starts changing, and up here it's pretty simple.
Mm-hmm.
But then it starts changing here, and you have to, so this is, take it very slowly.
Take it very
Yeah.
slowly, but mostly you're doing it hands together. Okay, that's great. I would encourage you to still sometimes practice hand separate. I practice hand separate all the time because it allows you to, it's a muscle memory thing. The more that you focus on one thing, it can do, your brain can do that without you thinking about it. I don't understand how that works, but it does.
Okay.
And there will be other things that you can think about as well. For example, let's take a look at the right hand. Can you just play the right hand the first time? Good, and then let's play the second line too. Good. So if I asked you if you have any idea what articulation is with regard to music, I'd be talking about slurs, staccatos, basically how you speak something
Okay.
on the piano. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you have some markings in this piece that relate to articulation, and this is an important thing for you as you're learning all these different ways to play the piano because these things sound different. So again, you've got that long line thing, which is called what again? Slur. You got that. And so, what do you want to do with that? You want to sing it as if you were doing it in one breath, but at the same time, you also want to make it connected. It means you play that legato. So, obviously, you can't play repeated notes completely legato, right? Because you have to start over. But here, see if you can play that in one smooth line all the way to the end of the line. Does that make sense? Great, let's try the next line too. Good, keep going. See if you can follow the phrase marking. Great, good. Good, I know you can do this great. So follow, again, remember that whole idea of like when you take a breath when you're singing, do that here with your hand. It will actually help because it's kind of awkward, right? Don't you think some of this is awkward?
Some of it is awkward because when you repeat the notes, you have to change fingers. But
Right, right.
So here. So
Here
that's
the
how
same
you stay
thing?
smooth through there.
Of course it is, and same thing here. But can you try the thing where you pick up your hand at the end of the slur? Can you try? And then start again. Sorry, I didn't do that on the mic.
That's a bit crazy.
Cool. What finger are you using here?
I was going with 5, but it doesn't say.
What do you like? Do you like 5? I think,
Maybe I was using 4, I don't know.
and you can totally disagree with me, but I'm generally a believer that having kind of a fingering plan helps just because you do the same thing all the time in your hand, memorize how to do it. And it seemed like 5 worked a little better for you. I think you did it 5 one time and you did it 4 the other time.
Okay.
And 5 made a lot of sense because 4 makes sense too. You certainly could do it with 4. There's not really a wrong fingering that you can use. But because you have to go all the way down to 1 here and span this long interval, it'll just give you the most width to grab. Does that